What's up guys, TG back here with part 2 of the 100 chronological timeline, this one being a recap of the important events in season 1. I know I said in my last video I'd have this up in a few days and it's been 3 weeks since then. I am really sorry, but I have been really busy, but let's just jump right into the timeline. On September 13th, 2149, the 100 are sent down to the ground. 2 die during the landing and communication with the Ark is lost. They were supposed to land at Mount Weather, but they land 20 miles away. Clark, Finn, Jasper, Monty, and Octavia take off to go get supplies from Mount Weather, and on the Ark it is revealed that Chancellor Jaha was shot by Bellamy, who is now on the ground convincing the others to remove their wristbands. On September 14th, Jasper crosses a river near Mount Weather and is speared by grounders, making Clark and the others realize they are not alone. On the Ark, there is a 3-3 tied vote among the council on whether or not to reduce population through sacrificing civilians in the Ark. Chancellor Jaha abstains from making the tie-breaking vote, delaying it 10 more days. On September 16th, the first acid attack occurs, killing Trina and Pascal. The next day, on September 17th, the second one occurs. Clark, Finn, and Wells get trapped in a car overnight, and Bellamy and Charlotte get trapped in a cave. After Charlotte has a nightmare, Bellamy tells her to slay her demons. The next morning, Adam is found brutally injured from the acid fog, and it is beyond repair. Clark puts him out of his misery as Charlotte watches. Later that night, Charlotte kills Wills the same way that she saw Clark kill Adam. On September 23rd, Murphy's knife is discovered, and he is accused of being the one to kill Wells. Because of this, some of the 100 place a rope around his neck and force him onto a crate, which Bellamy then kicks from beneath him, but Charlotte runs up and confesses that she killed Wells, so they cut Murphy down. After one night on the run, Charlotte and Bellamy are cornered by Murphy and the people that follow him. Charlotte jumps off a cliff and commits suicide, and Murphy is banned from the camp. On this night, Raven also leaves the Ark in an escape pod and comes down to Earth. Bellamy gets to Raven first and destroys the radio to avoid contact with the Ark. She now needs to find a way to let them know they are alive on Earth before the culling happens. They are able to set off flares that night, but it is too late as 320 volunteers were killed in the culling to save oxygen on the Ark. The flares end up burning down a grounder village as well, unbeknownst to the 100. The last thing that happens that night is Octavia, who is taken by Lincoln. The next morning, on September 26th, Bellamy forms a search party to go look for Octavia. 3 of them are killed by grounders during the search, but they eventually do find her in Lincoln's cave. Lincoln comes back and stabs Finn before being knocked out, and the group then returns to camp. On this night, they finally are able to contact and talk to the Ark, and Clark has Abby talk her through operating on Finn's stab wound. When she realizes that there was poison on the knife that stabbed him, Lincoln is captured, tied up, and tortured for the antidote. On September 27th, Clark and Bellamy hike out for winter supplies, and Dax follows close behind them. He made a deal with Shumway, and he has to kill Bellamy. He attempts to do so, but fails and is killed by Bellamy. Afterwards, him and Clark go back to camp, and they talk to Jaha. He pardons Bellamy in exchange for the name of the guard that had Bellamy shoot him. Shumway is discovered because of this and arrested, and then it is revealed that Diane is actually behind everything. On October 1st, during a Unity Day celebration, there is an explosion set up by Diane, and then her and her followers take over the dropship. On the ground, Clark and Finn meet up with Anya, the leader of this grounder group, to make peace. Jasper, who is providing cover, sees grounders in the trees and opens fire, starting a battle and ending any possibility of peace between the two groups. When the group gets back to camp, they all argue and point fingers at whose fault it is, but then they see the Exodus ship launch a day early. It comes down way too fast and explodes in the distance, killing everyone on board. That ship taking off also caused the life support on the Ark to fail and knocked out the power. On October 5th, Murphy returns to the camp after being captured by the grounders, and everyone starts getting sick. Realizing that the grounders are using biological warfare, Clark sends Octavia to Lincoln for the antidote. Lincoln reveals that there is none, and the sickness is just used to weaken an enemy before attack. The grounders will be attacking the camp at dawn. 2 days later, Raven sets out to blow up the bridge to slow the grounders down. Jasper, Finn, and Monty follow after her. Raven places the bomb on the bridge and Jasper shoots it, blowing it up. On October 9th, Clark and Finn go out to hunt for food and are captured by grounders. She has to perform surgery to save a young grounder, and if she doesn't, Finn would be killed. The grounder does end up dying, and Finn is taken off to be killed, and then Clark is actually able to escape, but gets caught in a trap. A grounder then captures her and reveals himself to be Lincoln. He was the same one that took Finn to kill him, which he didn't. He actually saved him. He brings Clark to him and helps him escape. At camp, Jasper catches Murphy killing someone and is taken hostage in the ship. Bellamy takes his place as hostage, and Raven tries to go underneath the ship to electrically open the doors. Murphy eventually hears her and shoots through the floor and then hangs Bellamy. Raven is able to get the doors open though, and Bellamy is saved, but Murphy is able to escape. Clark and Finn return to camp, and the 100 prepare to leave and flee. They do so, but soon after, Drew is killed, so they run back to the camp and realize that they have to fight. Raven comes up with a plan to lure the grounders close to the ship and blast the rockets. She starts working on that as the rest get ready for battle. The fighting starts, and Octavia is hit with a spear during it, so Lincoln takes her away. The grounders eventually start rushing in on the camp right as the rockets are ready to go. The remaining of the 100 get inside, but Bellamy and Finn can't get there on time, and Clark has no choice but to shut the doors on them. Anya is able to jump in the ship, but she is taken down. Jasper blasts the rockets as the grounders surround the ship, frying them all. At this time, the Ark took off for Earth. Jaha stayed behind to manually launch them. The stations all split up after launch, knowing that most of them would blow up and only about 1 or 2 would make it. The Mecha station, which Abby and Kane are on, does reach the ground safely, and they land in a river and get out of the ship. Back at camp, the dropship opens, and the 100 as well as a tied-up Anya exit. Then, out of nowhere, red smoke grenades are thrown at them, and they all pass out. Clark wakes up in the room with an IV in her vein. She takes it out and gets up and walks over to the door, which is locked. She looks at the window and sees Monty is in a room on the other side of the hall, and next to him is a sign that reads Mount Weather. And with that, Season 1 concludes. That is it for Part 2, going over the major events of Season 1. This one is a lot more straightforward than the last one, since we actually see all of this happen, and the last one was mostly references on past events that we didn't actually see occur. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.